You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. While the surviving R. Kelly documentary is said to be the trigger for R. Kelly's arrest and subsequent indictment, something even outgoing District Attorney Kim Fox confessed to when she was hosted on Windy City Live, it turns out almost all the actors in this Lifetime exclusive were later found unfit to appear in court as witnesses, and the only explanation to this is they were never victims. When these women appeared on the documentary, everyone's claim was I was a victim, and because there were quite a number of accusers, they managed to gain public sympathy and quickly, everything they said was regarded truth by many. In fact, it was difficult for anyone to watch this docuseries and not get intoxicated with the idea that R. Kelly was a very bad person. The only confusing thing about these women was their age. Many looked like my daughter's grandmothers, and others old enough to have abused someone themselves. Nevertheless, we gave them a benefit of doubt until all of them except a few were disqualified by the very government that had arraigned them on television. When it came to selecting from among them who will take the stand and make a convincing lie about the R&B King, many were just out of range and would be busted easily, and these were immediately excluded. Only those who looked a little convincing, such as Lisa Van Allen, Faith Rogers and Geronda Pace, were maintained to do the job because the government felt the United States is full of stupid people who would never take time to investigate and find out that these three were not any different from the rest, and that they were all along lying on R. Kelly. Well, because we are not stupid, we carried out our own investigation and managed to quickly flush out Lisa Van Allen. Many who watched the surviving R. Kelly documentary and were hoping to see all these accusers take the stand at trial, such as Ashanti McGee, Lonita Carter, Andrea Kelly, who said R. Kelly almost killed her, Kitty Jones, and the rest, were disappointed to learn that these were predetermined not to be victims after all. This was a clear indicator that the very cause, or call it trigger, for the indictment was a fraudulent TV show that was meant to frame R. Kelly and prejudice him before trial, such that even if the government eventually presented no substantial witness, with already corrupted jurors who had watched the documentary, it would still be easy to get an all-guilty verdict. And just as they had hoped, they managed to walk away with a landslide win, irrespective of the fact that many accusers from the series could not dare take the stand. Meanwhile, even the ones the government selected as perfect fits for the lying jobs failed at their game, as some, such as Lisa Van Allen, were quickly detected as being deceitful and flushed out as liars, and the testimonies by the likes of Geronda Pace and Faith Rogers found to lack consistency and subject matter. The charges placed against R. Kelly on the account of these two accusers are not only inappropriate, but are also making the government sound like a thief in the night every single day. How they managed to force these charges, such as forced labor, onto the indictment is still difficult to explain. From reading the trial transcript, many still wonder when acts of sexual relations became an element of forced labor. What happened to this country? There is nothing R. Kelly did with Geronda Pace or with Faith Rogers that other men do not do with their partners, but it appears that just because he is R. Kelly, he cannot do the very same thing without the government calling it forced labor such that he can pay for it. It's a shame how our own is becoming a victim of selective justice, and we are all watching from the sidelines. There seems to be some special laws made by Congress for R. Kelly alone and no other American. This is not right. In fact, the moment Lisa Van Allen was determined to have lied under oath, the entire case should have been disqualified for a lack of witness credibility. If the government managed to present one liar as their witness, how can we rule out the other witnesses were not telling even more lies to interfere with the only opportunity R. Kelly may have had to find justice? Who doesn't know that all along Lisa Van Allen was lying about her age when they met with R. Kelly? The only explanation to most surviving R. Kelly actors not proceeding to trial is they were never victims in the first place. If non-victims there were presented as victims in the documentary, and if people that were not fit to be witnesses were presented as witnesses in the same documentary, then this Lifetime production was not fit to be used as a basis to carry out any sort of indictment. We can therefore say Kim Fox derived her inspiration to indict R. Kelly from a fraudulent TV show that presented fake accusers and false witnesses with the purpose of prejudicing the R&B King. Since she decided to do this irrespective of all the criticism it came with, we cannot rule out the possibility that the surviving R. Kelly documentary was all along a government strategy to attempt to justify the arrest and indictment which were to follow. It's possible that the government realized they had no basis for arresting R. Kelly in the first place, and so they decided to plan out the docuseries together with their Sony counterparts who have a lot to gain from R. Kelly's downfall. According to Glenn, all information available shows the surviving R. Kelly documentary was a hoax, a lie and a strategy by government and Sony to justify an arrest and a new indictment. Why on earth would an indictment based on such a falsehood even proceed to trial? If the documentary managed to present false accusers who were never victims claiming to be that, and fake witnesses who didn't have the balls to appear in court and testify under oath, why would charges derived from this be regarded legitimate and applicable? Of course, Kim Fox will argue that a separate investigation was carried out after the documentary, but she is the very person that confessed to have been motivated by the TV show. If the investigation was also motivated by the prejudicial TV series, then it was also equally prejudicial. And once an investigation is motivated by lies like this, it means its findings cannot be free of falsehoods. According to Esther Lumengal, first of all, Kim Fox is a big liar and a corrupt attorney. She was involved with Avenatti, the extortionist attorney now convicted for major fraud cases and serving 14 years in prison. Kim Fox's connection to George Soros reveal a sinister combination that was bound to make plenty of legal mistakes. The documentary on which she based her said investigations and subsequent indictment was based on lies, and we all know this. I am glad she is not coming back. According to Luke Constant, it's strange to see that Kim Fox until now is trying to get people to think that R. Kelly is guilty in the face of all things that show he is innocent. With all the illegal things that have been done with R. Kelly, the truth is coming to the surface on the words of women who were paid and given immunities to tell lies on great and influential successful black men. He was found guilty without even a shred of proof that he did any of the things those women said he did. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.